Hey guys, it's Graham. Welcome back to Truckerman Reads. Yesterday was New Comic Book Day. I got a couple of good books and I got a surprise for y'all. I'll just spring the surprise on you now. I got to read an advanced copy of Dust Sacrifice, the American Paladin graphic novel from Arc Press. Kickstarter campaign is going on right now. I'm going to do a full review for that out in the shop later. I actually recorded one last night. The mic wasn't on and the bugs outside my shop were going insane, and about 3 straight minutes of the audio were unusable. So I'll do a better one tonight and you guys can see. I'm not going to share art from it. I might share 1 or 2 pictures that Arc Press has already shared on socials, but I do have the print copy of Alex Wisner's illustrations for Always with Honor Chapter 1, so you can see more of what his art looks like. We'll go through all of that. But I really enjoyed it, and it's just increasing my hype for the American Paladin full novel, and that's coming out next year. All right, yesterday's new releases. Batman and Deadpool #1 came out. This was obviously a very big deal because, hey, it's a DC and it's a Marvel crossover. I believe that this has happened before. I don't know to what extent, and not with these 2 characters. When this title was first announced, it got... blowback is kind of a strong word, but it got some raised eyebrows because these aren't the 2 characters that you might think of putting together if you were going to do a crossover between the big 2. But the way the story shakes out, I think it makes some sense, only because Batman is the one who is very serious and very dialed in this story, and Deadpool is obviously the merc with the mouth, he's incapable of being serious. And I think it's been a while since I read a Deadpool comic, and I think there's a tendency to, when these characters get big in cinema, to then have a writer come in and write them for the book in a way that the actor played them in the movies. And so this feels like shades of Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool, and I can't really compare it to any pre-Ryan Reynolds Deadpool and say oh yeah, this is the way that the character has always been. He's consistent with that kind of tonally, but in a way that works very well for the story. Basically, Batman's brooding about some cases that he's been following. He thinks Joker is going to release a bunch of Joker venom into Gotham, and he's trying to figure out what to do about it. And then, while he's at Wayne Manor, Deadpool busts in and more or less announces, he's hey, I just kind of got pulled into this universe. He's not as on the nose about it. And he makes friends with Batman, we'll say, but in a very humorous way, and goes with Batman to chase down Joker, and then there's a plot twist, and then it goes sideways from there. Deadpool is basically fangirling over Batman and gets in the middle of Joker's plot as a result of it. And it works. I'm sure there are going to be people that, this is a cringe, this is a stupid idea, whatever. I read it, I had fun, I enjoyed the dialogue and the banter, the way that Batman was overly serious and getting annoyed with Deadpool, but also figured out how to use him to get what he wanted because he's Batman. A lot of fun in that issue. Ghost Pepper #3 came out, and I just continue to enjoy that one. I don't have a whole lot to say about it here. I want to do a video about the 3 issues that have come out, so I'll have to do that out in the shop later this week as well. Just loving it. And then the final one that came out was one that I bookmarked about a month ago, and it's called No Man's Land. The cover was really evocative, and I checked out the description, and I thought, okay, there is massive potential for this. It's set during the Cold War, and there is a dead body found right on the border of American and Soviet, space is the wrong word, territories. There's where the exact line of demarcation is gets kind of fuzzy when you get out into the Bering Strait. And so I don't know if these landmarks are real or if it was just made up for the story. But the line goes right between 2 islands called Big Diomede and Little Diomede. And America owns one, the Soviets own the other, and they say the line is generally between these 2 islands out on the water. But because this is the Bering Strait, that line in the water, that expanse between the 2 islands, freezes over for 3 months a year. And just as this FBI agent named Kevin Collins is about to retire, a national emergency kicks up because they find a dead body out on the ice, and it looks like it might have been like ritualistically killed, and they've got to go out there and solve it before the ice thaws and figure out what the heck is going on. But they need to be able to kind of disavow this American agent if he gets found by the Soviets. And so they find a guy who's right on the cusp of retirement. His wife is about to divorce him. He's just this old sad sack. They're like, cool, we're going to leverage this dude and send him out there and find out what the heck is going on. Excuse me. The way that issue 1 ends, it establishes the tone and the expectation and all of that. The art was beautiful. They could either go with a very straightforward, like in the real world political thriller, or they could go with something crazy supernatural. It doesn't matter. Like whatever happens from here, I'd be fine with either one, just because of the establishment in this first issue. I don't know how to say it better than that. It's just set up where it could go in any direction. The tone is awesome. The illustrations just lend themselves to that atmosphere so perfectly. And if I remember from the description, this FBI agent and a KGB operative get stuck out there on the ice trying to figure out who killed this woman and why. This is a mini series. I believe it's going to be 4, maybe 5 issues, so I'll be following it for the rest of the year. But the premise sounded really, really good, and then I got this first issue in. It's like, awesome, yes. So all on board with that. So overall, a great week of reading comics and graphic novels. I'll get to that Dust Sacrifice video. If it's not tonight, it'll be tomorrow. I got a weird schedule for the next 2 days. But yeah, get hyped. Great comics this week. Drive safe. See you out there.